All right. Welcome to today's workshop. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll let some people get on here. So today I'm going to go over today's the machine workshop. So basically, we're going to be talking about the process of getting somebody from not being a member of our community to being a member of our community, a paid member. So that's what we're going to go through today. It's going to be a big overview. I'm going to walk you through just what I'm doing. And then we're going to open up for questions on this first one, and we'll get deeper as we go. But I want to just find out where the gaps are with you first. That way we can get those things covered and work from there. I think that's where we're going to find um, the best outcome. So this is are you all in here wanting to create a recurring income, selling your advice online, creating online courses, running a paid community? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So what we want to do is keep this very, very simple. If you want me to complicate it, I can. But I'm not into that. I think we can do this in a very simple way. And what's so funny is the simple things, the stuff that's just, completely apparent always seems to be the hardest stuff. And I'm not sure why that is. It's a funny joke, I guess, that gets played on us, but it's something that I'm going to help you erase, and we're just going to get down to it. And if you can really just understand that this is what it is, there's no hidden doors or secret pathways or something that somebody knows that you don't know, you're going to know today. I'm going to just lay it all out there for you. So you should be able to really get a grip on this. And, what I love about this is we've removed a lot of parts. Okay. And, if you ever want more help from me, I have my paid community. It's Make Once Pro. You can go check that out. There's ways to find that. I am running a special till the end of the month here. If you want to get in, normally it's $997 for lifetime access, but you can get in for $597. And then the Klarna will let you do payments on it. So that's cool. Or you could just pay the monthly for about a price of a pair of Nikes. So let me share my screen here. And I want to get to it. Okay. So let me know if you can see my screen right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we can see this, the little globe and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So our goal, like I said, is to, and I'm using Miro. If you guys are curious what this little device is that I'm showing you this stuff on, it's a fancy little thing, and I like it. It works really good. It's if you're somebody that likes to demonstrate by demonstrating, then this is a really cool tool because you can write and wiggle and move things around. But the goal here is to just get people from social media, because that's where they're at. Unless you're going to their house or you're going to run radio ads and flyers and things like that. They're out there on social media where we're at right now. They're out there on the internet, and they're going to come to your place. And we want to get them to literally just come and sign up. So with this goal, it's very, very simple. You're getting them from social media to your community. That's it. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to put them anywhere else. Okay, just bring them over. Now, typically, if you walk up to somebody, a stranger, and you're like, "Hi, my name is Mike. Want to have a baby?" You're probably gonna get slapped. They're gonna raise an eyebrow. They're just gonna like look at you and cock their head like a dog does when it hears something weird, right? And we don't want that. So typically, you got to buy a drink first, maybe rub their feet, make them some dinner. You got to give them some stuff, and you got to show that you're actually somebody that they want to connect with, that makes sense to them, and you've got to demonstrate a little bit. All right, so I'm going to show you how we do that in a very simple way. What I love about this is we don't need a website, we don't need a funnel. Okay, we don't need email automation, we don't need fancy videos, we don't need fancy plugins and marketing and this and that. We don't. You really, really don't. Skool does all that for you. It emails people for you every single day. You might have gotten an email today from me, and I didn't send it. Skool did. And it told you what was going to happen today. I didn't. So that was pretty cool, right? I just programmed the machine one time, and now it tells people what to do every day. It brings people here so that we can do these. And, it's cool, right? It's really cool. And then the funnel, if you want to call it that, is your community. All the funnel was for in prior to this, which, listen, funnels work, email automations work, email lists work, websites work, advertising works, paid ads, all that stuff works, and it works wonderfully. Okay. But this works even better with less work. So it's up to you. But the cool thing is with this, the funnel has changed, right? So the funnel was to build the relationship and guide somebody on a path of discovery without them being too distracted by shiny objects along the way. Kind of like if somebody walks into the store, they compartmentalize the store, right? They break it up into like women's clothes, men's clothes, bicycles, hunting stuff, car stuff, soap, right? Because if it was just all mixed together, imagine how difficult it would be. So you want to make sure that your stuff is laid out the same way. It just needs to be very simple to differentiate between. Okay. So what the problem is, though, is people don't know how to get people from social media to their community. Do you agree with that? Are you having trouble with that? Now, why do you honestly think, tell me in the comments here, or you can just speak to me. Why do you think this is such a problem? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Are you guys not going to talk? Tammy,
I'm
Jody,
talking.
nobody wants to talk to me? Is that how it is?
I'm gonna say something. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's because, like you said from the beginning of the week, is the message and how to transfer people, like how to solve their problem, and then they build that trust that based on emotion and truth. I think that for me, it's the first step to lead them from one place to another.
Okay. Anybody else? You guys going to talk to me or what? You going to be my friend here? Is Kareen my only friend today? Okay. All right. Well, listen, it is, I guess, so it can be the message, right? It can be the message. It can be the just not being clear. Not being clear. We don't walk down places where we can't see where our footing is at. We don't drive in the fog too well. We don't walk too good blindfolded, right? So this problem, really, honestly, I think some don't make the offer to join, not giving instructions to do so. My voice is still gone. I got you. So this is it too. You're not making the offer. If we're not making offers, we're not making money. Did you notice how I opened up right away and I said, hey, if you want to get more help from me, I have Make Once Pro. And I told you what, did that bother you when I said that? I mean, did it feel like I was being salesy, or did it feel like I was trying to get you? Anybody? So it's not going to feel that way for you either. I just got it out of the way right away. Yeah. Does this feel like a waste of your time right now? I mean, do you feel like you're wasting your time right now? Do you feel like this is no good? Do you feel like you can do what I'm doing right now? Has being on the last few workshops, has this helped you have a better connection with me and more clarity on what we do? Do you think that that would be the same thing that happens with the people for you? I mean, Jody, what do you think? Is it Jody?
Yeah, it's Jody. And yes, I do agree.
Yeah, it's this, does it feel, I mean, does this feel awkward or strange? I'm just curious because these, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the principles are good. It's just, for me personally, stepping out of that zone, and just taking those first few steps to get that momentum rolling. And I think once that momentum rolling, I think your principles and what you're sharing is fantastic. I guess that's why I'm here, right?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, it's like, what else would you do?
Yeah.
I mean, you could create a video that's static, that goes out there, that's not live, I should say. And of course, that's going to help, right? Why wouldn't it help?
Yeah.
If you create events, people will come to them. It's like this at first, right? This is the first event of this. This is the first machine workshop, and I didn't tell anybody about it. I literally just put it in my community, and I just let the reminder send out a reminder. And if they didn't come, then they didn't come. And of course, I'm going to promote it more. Of course, I'm going to talk about it more. Of course, there's going to be a day 2. I'm just saying what I'm doing right now. I told you I won't make this complicated. All I did was I thought about what are all the parts to this process to get somebody from point A to point B. What are all the parts of that process? And then I said, well, why don't we just break each one of those parts down, and I'll talk about what to do. I'll talk about why we do it. I'll give the person the vision of what's going on here and let them decide if this is something that they want to, be a part of. And I make it very clear and easy to sign up. I make it very, it's very approachable. You can have a lifetime access. You can have a monthly access. You can cancel anytime. And then it's very clear why they would come here, because the reason people come to me is they want to use the internet to make money, and they want to use digital products, digital coaching, courses, memberships, paid communities, things like selling your advice online, right? Because somebody's got to help somebody else. Yeah. We've learned that other people know things, and if they tell us, we don't have to go through as much pain to figure it out, right? And so you can be that person, you can be that leader, or you can be a follower. You're one or the other, I would say, and you're always a little bit of all of it, right? So the thing that is plaguing most, I would say, is just the fear, right? A lot of it is just fear of being judged, fear of being small at first, or fear of maybe not making so much sense when you talk at first, getting over the fear that you look a certain way, these different things, right? What do you feel like is the problem for you? Like, what do you really feel like holds you back from, you decided that you wanted to do this thing, right? You decided that you wanted to make money online. Good. You decided you wanted to step out. What is the problem?
For me, it's execution. It seems like in my mind, I have kind of a game plan of where to go. Now I need to put the steps into place and just start executing.
Mm.
I have a tendency to overcomplicate things, and if I could stop overcomplicating, I think it would be good.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. Unfortunately, I do have that fear as well of what if I look stupid?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say something just a little bit wrong? I'm pretty knowledgeable in my industry, but what if I say something wrong and somebody challenges me on it? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where my fear is right now.
So let's stick with that, because I think you just spoke for everyone. First off, just write this down. Here's the machine. Okay. There's 3 parts to this machine. I promise you, I've spent over $100,000+ on being educated, masterminds. I've made a couple $1,000,000 selling my advice online in the last several years. And this is the process. Okay. You ready? It's 3 things: attract, convert, deliver. Okay. Attract, convert, deliver. So we build it in reverse, right? We build the delivery, then we build the conversion, then we attract. Now, if I were thinking about this in all cases, I would say you're always trying to build your personal brand and attract. Well, how do you do that? Well, like Jody said, well, I might say something and somebody might challenge me on it. Okay. What if somebody challenges you on it? Like, let's say that I'm like, Jody, that's horseshit. What would you say?
I'd say, well, let's, I can examine it. I can give feedback. I can accept it. I tend not to engage in a lot of the horse shit when people throw things at me.
Mhm.
I've been educated already in a lot of these things, so it's just coming up with the response that doesn't make you look stupid, that makes you look like you're the authority in what you're talking about.
What if you just didn't respond at all and you just kept going?
I do that often. You know what? A lot of it just rolls off, right? Move forward and keep. I think there's lots of people out there that want what you can give, or what I can give. I just have to deliver it, and not give credence to those negative voices.
100%. And, you know, dogs don't bark at parked cars. People are always going to challenge things, and it's okay. It doesn't mean anything. Now, if you're wrong in what you're saying and doing, that is one thing. Like if you cannot back it up, right? Or if you can't prove it out, then we need to start there, right?
Yeah.
We need to start there. But I would assume that whatever you're doing, whether it's make money or health, or if it's happiness, you know, mental relationships, whatever, you should be able to point to something and prove it out. You should be able to have some kind of proof already, or why else would you be here doing it? You know what I mean? So if you can prove it by, you know, showing what somebody else did or what you're doing or what you've learned, then it's all those things that you hear are just the sounds of nature as you travel. And you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes the lightning strikes, sometimes the wind's blowing, sometimes a tree branch breaks. Those are just noises. And what you have to do is focus on where you're going, and you have to focus on just the people. You know, the funny thing is like I always say, when I was in football, my coach would yell at us at halftime because all the kids would be looking at the scoreboard and we'd be down. And he goes, he'd snap you out of it and he'd say, listen, you can't fix the score on the scoreboard by looking at the scoreboard or thinking about the scoreboard. You can only fix the score on the scoreboard by what you're actually doing on the field. So why don't we focus on what makes the scoreboard change and not the scoreboard? And that always stuck with me because people think about money all the time. They're comparing themselves to the breadwinner or to the next person or what this person's doing. And they don't focus on what really matters is, and what really matters is you building a connection with your audience. Nothing is going to make anything work until you've connected with the people that have the problem that you can solve. And the only way that you're going to connect with them is if you're out there trying to connect with them. If you're putting out information that makes them think. And what you're wanting to do almost 90% of the time is paint the picture. So write that down. Instead of talking about the plane ride, instead of talking about how good the seats are and how neat the little DVD screen thing is in front of you, or, you know, talking about the price of the ticket, or, you know, standing in line, we don't talk about the plane ride. We're talking about the destination. If they can't envision themselves doing it or experiencing it, there's not a chance in anywhere that they're going to come over and buy your thing. So how do we do this? Well, quit talking about the product. Quit trying to sell the product, the process, and start selling the need. Sell the need. Sell the need, not the product. The product is the product is the plane ride. You don't sell the plane ride. You don't, when you go on to Expedia, they don't show you plane seats. They don't show a bunch of lines at the checkout counter. They don't show a bunch of crying babies beside you. They don't show cramped, put your bag under the front, make sure it's in there, sir, your bag, sir. Okay, you never see pictures of this. All you ever see pictures of is the sun and the where you're going and the, you know, the excursions, right? So what I find is we somehow because the process that people have to go through, the steps that people have to take, it's so important to you because you figured out the steps. And you know the steps are there, just like the airlines and the Expedia. They know that you got to go through the airport. Security, take your shoes off, out of your bag. Sir, what's in the bag? You know, they know all of that. It's undeniable. But why? They never talk about it. Not even the airlines themselves talk about it. This is their core thing. Get in our tube and we'll fly you somewhere, right? Never talk about it. There's not, you never see, look at Apple. Look at Apple. Look at the biggest companies in the world. Go look at their commercials. They're never talking about the wires inside, the how you click on the keyboard and all that stuff. You can go dig into that. But they're always showing you how, they always show like an action-packed film and you're using that phone to film something, right? In all the commercials, all they do is this. They just show you they never show this side. It's always this. And then they show like how beautiful you can look in the picture, right? They always show you the destination. Now, how many times, let me know, how many times have you in your content, your text message to the world, that's all content is. It's just your text message to the world. You should text the world every day. Okay? The people that text you all the time, they're probably the people that you are the most connected with. You're probably the closest to. Would you agree with that? Okay? Your content is a text message to the world. Now, let me ask you this. In your text messages to the world, no different than I want you to think about the text messages you send to your family and your friends and your lovers and your buddies and whatever, okay? Are you talking about the destination or the plane ride? Are you talking more about like the process, or are you talking about like imagine what it would be like? If you think back at it, what do you talk about more? It's okay to talk. We're just friends here, okay? What is it? What do you think you do more of? Jody, what do you think you do more of?
You know, you made me think about it. So I've been working on putting out content, and I've been really trying to focus on like their pain points, my customers' pain points. So I guess I'm thinking more about the destination on how I can take and alleviate the problem that they're having in their life surrounding the product that I'm trying to provide. And it's a service I provide. So I think I missed the mark. I put out content not every day. And sometimes it's just absolutely flops, and other days, for some reason, it takes off. There's no rhyme or reason behind it, but I really have been trying to look at the destination rather than the starting point. But I'm not sure if I'm hitting it or not.
When you came here to join this and be a part of this and do this selling stuff online, making money online, when you came to do this, were you thinking about all of your problems and looking to see how I could solve them? Or were you thinking about what it would be like to make money online and not have to do anything else?
Oh, I'm looking at the destination. Unfortunately, I'm looking at the outcome, or
Yeah,
fortunately.
it's not unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think the basketball, Michael Jordan, he was always thinking about every dribble, or do you think he was thinking about winning that championship the whole time?
Oh, championship, baby.
So why on earth are we talking about anything other than the destination? When you think about getting that house and that car, do you think about the taxes, putting gas in it, spilling your drink, all this shit? No, you think about pulling up to that steakhouse, getting out, what it feels like going down the road. Just, oh man, right? Or putting on that dress, or going to that, or watching the kids get off the plane and they see everything and they're like, oh, it's the first time. So
Yeah,
why
I
are we
guess there's
talking
a
about anything else?
mindset shift.
Got to paint that picture. I have on my desk here, you can see a little tiny picture. I keep it here. I'll stop share. No. Yes. Okay. Even me. Or I always have this one. I used to have a picture of just a painting, like the little painting thing that the little icon on the phone, like a little paintbrush, that you paint the picture. Here's the word that you use all the time. Here's the word that you use all the time. Imagine what it would be like if you were just shopping at the store. You didn't even have to look at your account ever. No matter where you were at, what you were shopping for, you never even, the thought of even thinking about the thought of the thinking about the checking of the account wasn't even a thought. What would that feel like? Imagine no matter what you were doing, you knew you could do it because you knew you had what it took to do it. Imagine you see something that you want to do and you can just go do it because you have the time and you have the money. And it's all because you're helping people, not because you're doing anything crooked or weird or abstract or strange or could go away. Do you think people will ever want to stop knowing how to do things? If anything, it's probably going to maximize. I mean, we're talking about being $1 trillion industry here in the next, let's call it 10 years, if not sooner. 5 years, 6 years, they're saying. I mean, imagine what it would be like to, at any place that you go, you can perform at 100% with your business. Doesn't matter if you pull over on the side of the road. Doesn't matter if you're in a hotel. Doesn't matter if you're in your office, and you can help people and really change lives. And because of that, imagine you can take your kids anywhere they want to go. They can drive what they want to drive. They can wear what they want to wear. They can eat what they want to eat. They can take their friends. If something happens, you can afford to fix it. What would that be like? Be amazing, wouldn't it? Imagine your friend needs help. You can just give them the money, not even think about it. Don't even care if they pay you back. You could create the most unbelievable cool parties for your friends when certain events happen. You can support other people's dreams. You can give them the office or the space. What would that feel like? Imagine that. Now, how does it feel when I say those things to you? Feels good, right? You're saying, I will sniff dog turds for 3 months straight if I have to, if that's what it takes. All of a sudden, all the other stuff don't matter, does it? You will, you don't care. If you had terminal brain cancer and 1 minute to live, and the doctor says, well, you have to smear dog crap on your face and run down the street naked and it'll go away forever and you'll never get it again. Your ass would be doing that. I promise you. You wouldn't even think twice. You wouldn't even really you'd be like, well, here we go. So think about that. It's not anything else. It really isn't. They'll get in and do whatever. So the problem is when we talk about the message, right? If people know why you're doing something, the machine works better. It's kind of like the right gas for the machine, right? If people know what happened and why you're doing this and what you're looking forward to, and imagine what it would be like to have, just imagine. Think about this. It's another one. What would you do if you could? You need to get really good at coming up with all those little words and just set them up in front of you like I do. It works for me. I wrote this down yesterday. I seen this quote. It says, "The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding." You need to remind yourself these things. Excuse me. Okay. So again, everything that you want from this is all because you're imagining the outcome. And yet we're going to not talk about that. Instead, we're going to be like, well, all right. Okay. Like, think about that. If they can't see the vision of it, you're toast. Not the vision of all the stinking work and late night. You'll do all of that. You'll do it if the outcome is worth it. So until we can paint that picture, and then when we're demonstrating things, one thing you want to do, numbers help people a lot because they don't lie, right? 1 + 1 is 2, no matter where you live, right? So if you can use numbers to help them imagine, this is always good. And I'm not talking about numbers in the sense of like, look at the bank account, which that can help. Okay. People like that. But it's more about, what if this month you worked, let's April 1. Okay. Imagine this month you worked really hard and every day you got one new member paying you $49 a month. Okay. If you did that every single day, by the end of the year, if nobody quit, which I'll tell you, the average attrition rate for a business like this is about 5% per month. That's what they say. I don't experience anything even close to that. Like maybe 1%. So, but let's just say it is 5%. Okay. So if it is 5%, that means you're maybe losing, like if you got one member a day, that means you're maybe losing one per month. Okay. So let's just not even worry about that. But let's just say you had one person join every day at $49 a month, and they wanted to come with you because you were going to help them get to the destination. And at the end of the year, you'd be making about 17,800 and something odd, $85 a month. What would that do for you right now? If you got to talk about, you got to perfect the art of inspiring, educating, and motivating, and guiding and leading a group of people that want what you figured out already and like to talk about. And they're paying you, their friends are in the community. We're social animals. That's why the community is so much more powerful than the email list. In the email list, you can't hang out with the other people in there. In the community, you can. Okay. And so if you got a cool community and you're working hard every day to just help them, because you're more worried about what you have to do on the field instead of the scoreboard takes care of itself, right? So, if you imagine that, seriously, what would change in your life if you had a recurring income of, let's call it 15,000, we'll cut out the 17, 15 at the end of the year, this year, you had a recurring, and not everybody leaves the apartment complex at once, right? Like not everybody moves out at once, right? It just doesn't happen. It's just math, it's science, it's physics, it's all that stuff, right? They just don't. That's why buying real estate that is multifamily and multi-door is a lot more smarter and very simple to think about, better investment than a single door, like a home, right? So this is the same way. Your community, you've got let's say 100 people or whatever, 365 people, all right? And they're paying you $49 a month. Let's just call it 15 grand a month you have coming in recurring, and it's going to be there. I mean, and especially if you keep going out and talking about the destination, think about what changes in your life. Every day that you wake up, and it's simple. It's not like you're asking somebody these crazy things. I've been asked things to invest in the long full ticket of it, and I'm like, even I have the money and I don't want to do it because I'm like, I don't want to part with 10, 15 grand. I just, it's not that big of a deal to me, But then when they go, well, what if it was just a couple $100 a month? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Like when I used to sell cars, nobody ever we never talked about the price of the car. It was always, what can you get my payment? As long the car could be $5 trillion, but if we can get it down to $350 a month, they'll drive it. You know, they'll pay that forever, right? This is the power of going. Do you know the biggest buildings in every city are insurance company buildings? These little monthly recurring things. The biggest buildings in all the cities you'll see are like these low ticket items that you have to pay monthly for. Do you realize that? So I want you just me doing what I just did there. Okay, I did some picture painting. How does that change your perspective on things? What does that do different for you? Do you feel what I'm saying? Even though you know I'm doing it right now, it still works really, really good, doesn't it? So when you build your presentation and you build the thing that's going to help people say, I think I need to go over there and hang out with those people, you probably want to think about what we're doing here, like what I did with you. It's not hard to do because you already have that vision. That's why you're the leader. You're the one. I mean, think about like when you go to, you know, be a coach or a leader of a football team or a what, it doesn't matter what, any team. What are you always talking about? Guys, we can get the championship. We can get there. If we just work together, we can make this happen. Right? I know it's a little tough, but let's get on that line. We got some sprints, okay? And you're like, yeah, everything changes. You know what I mean? That's that. And if you're not doing that, it's going to be really bumpy. It's not going to be very good. It's not going to work very well. People don't want to come over to work. This is not, there's no, on the front of the ab machine, they don't show some guy just like completely sweated out. Like they show him standing there with those abs just bouncing, sun blinging off of him. The lady's holding on to his arm. She's rubbing on him. Because that's the only reason he's buying that stupid ass machine he's not going to use one time. You know what I mean? That's the thing that happens. So pay attention to that. When you go buy something, when you buy that entertainment center that you got to put together and you're probably going to strip out one of the screws and it'll lean to the side and the damn thing and it's all jacked up. They don't show you all the parts and pieces and all that shit, do they? No, they just show you the badass thing set up and you're like, hell yeah. You get it home and you're like, God damn it. But you put it together anyway because you have this vision of this thing, right? So I want you to imagine whatever it takes for you, put something down somewhere where we know we're going to pay attention to that 99% of the time we create, because we know if that is strong enough, the vision is strong enough, the whole thing works. They'll do whatever it takes. Okay? So if we do not do this and we don't fix it, then we have to get a job. I'd rather cut off my right arm, right? We don't get extra time. Now, here's something else that's really important about what I'm doing right now. It's just as important to understand after we know the destination. Have you ever shopped for a house or go look at houses? They'll show you the most badass, biggest, bad boy, most banging, awesome house first. Because when they take you to that one that you can afford, you're like, I think I know a friend that can get me that down payment for that other one. You're toast. But if you talk about the shit first, if we go to the tiniest house first, and then we work up to the big one, it can work. It can work. But it's better to like see the awesome one. You know, like when you go take your car in to get it worked on, they give you like the baddest brand new one of what you bought. And you're like, God damn it. By the time you go back, you just had to get an oil change. You're like, so what would it take to get into that one? Okay. So what you want to do is after you've laid this out, after you've like got them all good and stuff, then you talk about this. If we don't get there though, guess what, guys? You know, we can't travel. We can't get what we want. We hear no a lot. We get stressed. We argue with our family. Don't you hate arguing with people that you love on a thing that is so stupid as like just because you can't afford something. But there's so much tied to it. It's your pride. You get leveled in what you're worth. You're not worth anything, obviously. But you know you are. And yet you're struggling and stressed. Neither one of you want to fight and bicker, but you do, all because that's the whole reason why biggest motivation that I had to do what I'm doing right now was I hated fighting about money. The only negative in my life was because there was a lack of money. I drank. I did drugs. I hung out with the wrong people. I argued with my family, got knocked down, drag out fights. And then because you're trying to numb the thought of not having it, you then you take chemicals that cause you to be a jackwagon and an asshole to the people you care about the most. Then you wreck that, not on purpose. You're just trying to forget and numb the pain of not having this thing called money. And you can think it's everything else, but I promise you, until you have a shitload of it and you can give it to everybody, you'll understand. You'll understand that it is not the root of all evil. It is the thing that fixes all the evil. So that's why I did this. I'm like, I'm going to figure, I am not going to have this. I am not going to tell my friends and family that I can't go or that we can't do it because we can't afford it. Be damned if that's the case. And, it was a struggle because I didn't know anything about money. I didn't know, nobody taught me this stuff. Nobody told me what to do with it. Nobody said that you could make, it was like, it was so scarce, So it's important that they understand, why you're doing it. And, this is important. And this is why we got to get it fixed so that we can do that, right? So how we do it is we set our North Star. Okay. We have to have a place that we're going or it's impossible to get there. Now, I like to use numbers because they're easier to judge than feelings. I can at least see the number like changing. My feelings are hard to measure. So when you're setting the North Star, a lot of people think we have this envision of what it looks like and what it will be like and what we would do and all these stuff. But it's hard to measure that. You need something that you can measure because if you can't measure it, you can't grow it because you don't know where it is or if it's making any progress. So you pick a North Star, just pick a dollar amount, right? Just pick a dollar amount, but don't think about it in terms of dollars once you pick it. So for me, I want 1,000 members at $149 a month. That's $149,000 per month. Okay. Plus 1,000 school affiliates. That's another 39,000 a month. It's 188,000 plus all the other humbo jumbo. It's about $200,000 a month, which is a shitload of money. Okay. It's an absolute astronomical amount of money. More money. You can do whatever the hell you want making that much money. Okay. I'm serious. Like it would be very, 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 very hard for you not to do whatever you wanted to do. Because even at that amount, you can get in touch with people that can get you to the next place. Like it's an enormous amount of money and anything, I mean, it is. So that's my goal. But I can't think about it like now as like money. Because if I focus on the money, that's like focusing on the scoreboard. I can't do that. I have to focus on the people. So then you think about like the members, okay? All I care about, I got to help one more person, one more person, one more person. I got to spread that vision to one more person. I got to get one more person to catch this vision so that they can see what's possible. Okay? Then we have to create a schedule because if you don't have a schedule, you're not going to make it. If you don't have a schedule, everything looks good. Everything's an option. If you don't have a North Star, everything's an option. Because you can't decide, well, if I do this or if I do this, one thing gets me there closer, faster, easier. The other thing makes me not there faster, easier, better. So now we can decide that we have a North Star. Then with the schedule, you can say no, because you're going to be saying no more than yes. The only thing you're going to be saying yes to is, I got to cast the vision to one more person. Just focus on one more person. One more person, one more person, one more person. We know what the goal is, and we can always go back and check on that. You can always look at the scoreboard once in a while, but get back down in the stance. You've got a guy in front of you. You got to block him. You got to catch him. You got to, okay? So one more person, one more person, one more person. It's about the people. We only make money when we solve problems. And we can't solve your problem if you don't see the vision of the problem being fixed, not seeing the problem itself by itself, okay? So we got to schedule it. What do we do each day? Well, you know, nothing works without the people, okay? And the people won't see the vision of something unless we know what the vision of the something is. So that's why I say attract, convert, deliver, but we got to get the delivery figured out so we can spread the vision. What are you going to deliver? Right? I didn't say it had to be completed. I didn't say it had to all be inside of your community, ready to go in the classroom, because you're going to build it with them. You're going to get the championship together with them. You can't sell the championship. You have to do it with them. You can't sell the champion. You can talk about the vision of it, but you can never sell the championship. When you join the team, when you join the community, you work to get there together. You can't sell it to them. You got to win it. So you have everything ready, and then we got to put our big kid pants on. What does that mean? Well, somebody's got to do it. Somehow we've got to get out there and talk about the vision. Okay? And then we got to get it done. We just got to get it done. There's only, you can only do a few things. What are you going to do? You going to make a video? You going to make a piece of paper, picture? You going to do an audio? You going to write it down? Which one do you like? They all work. I like video because video does all of them. I can turn a video into a picture. I can take the audio off of this and turn it into text, or just use the audio, right? I can bring more emotion to the game in a video because you can see my body language. I can adjust the tonality. And all I got to do is care about you. And all I got to do is make sure that you see the vision and that you get this thing done. And if I do that, you'll tell the next person. And then we've got another person that we're helping. And if we just focus on that activity, you don't got to worry about anything else. It'll just literally take care of itself. It's self-selecting. It's very cool. So we never not do this every day. It don't matter if you're sick. It don't matter nothing. Yeah, but Mike, I thought the whole reason we were doing this is so that we had like time freedom and all that stuff. Yeah, it is. But even I'm sick. I've been sick. And you know what? I don't even give a shit. I'm just like, God damn it. Get this. I just picture this little bug in my body. I'm like, come on. There's the door, like the nose, the butt. Where do you want to go? Get out. Like, get on out. Like somewhere, right? So it's like but I love this. Because I found out if I fall in love with helping you get results and seeing the vision of this, all my problems just go away. It's weird. I don't even know where they went. It's so strange to me. And it feels like you've never not been here. It's the most wild. If there's any magic in life, it's that. And that's why I love that quote. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. And you're only avoiding it because you have a vision of it sucking. And it doesn't even suck. You put on this movie in your brain that your friends are going to make fun of you, your brother's going to laugh at you, your sister. Well, let them laugh. You can wave to them in your brand new Rolls Royce as you go to the bank, or if you don't want a Rolls Royce, your brand new minivan, whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But you can wave at them and smile and be like, oh, yeah, that was a good one. Oh, man, you almost had me there. Like you don't want to care about that because you're more worried about helping the people. Because that's the magic key. That's it. That's it. Zig Ziglar said it. If you help everybody else solve their problems, your problems go away. But the only way you can help them solve their problem is if they have a vision of actually being able to solve it. And you're not talking about the vision. You're showing them the shitty house and talking about what it'll take to fix it up. They're not interested in that. You're not asking the questions. Questions are the answer. You got to write that down. Questions are the answer. All you have to do is ask the right question. You don't even got to say anything else. You don't even got to, they don't even need to tell you the answer. It's like, is Kareen wearing a white shirt? Whether you answer any of us or not, your brain already did it. That's the cool thing about knowing the right question. This is why a good lawyer is a good lawyer and one is not. You don't even got to answer. Have you ever seen those movies? They're like, sir, where were you last night at 3:00? That's all. And he goes and says, he doesn't even need the answer. That was it. So we can use this power to ask the right question. Like, what would you do right now if you looked into your bank account and you could schedule that trip that you wanted to take with your family this summer? And you knew, and you could go there like a gangster and wear a gold chain the whole time. You could drop $1,000 and be like, oh shit, I don't have time to grab that. Got to get over to the snack bar. Imagine what would that feel like? I don't need you to answer me. You see how that works? Imagine, look at this. Imagine one person a day coming in, looks like this, right? What if that was in your Stripe account? And every day it just paid out. Can you imagine what that would be like? Wouldn't it be worth it? See what I'm saying? So we embrace the suck. We don't talk about the suck. We embrace it. We're like you talk about how much you care about them. How much I get it. I'm like you too. I am the same way. Hell, I was worse. But you know what? I just couldn't get over the idea of actually just waking up and not even having to worry about what a boss is going to say or anything. All I had to do was wake up and think about what cool piece of content I was going to create today that would help you see the vision and help you believe in yourself more than you believed in the opinions of others. What if you believed in your vision, in your experience? What if you believed more and cared more about what you would experience instead of what somebody else had in mind for your life? Right? Okay. So the machine, here's how we do this, right? We take people from social media, and I like to buy them a drink first. Okay. It always seems to work better. You can try the whole let's have a baby right after the handshake, but it doesn't work too well. And if it does, oh, you better be careful, okay? Because you're probably in line. So the thing that I would say is you go out to to social media, and we're talking about what? Imagine, what if, right? What would it be like? You don't need them to answer you. That's the magic thing about it, right? And then anything that we can do to employ more emotion, that's good. If I'm imagine if you had abs. Now, what if I was showing some guy flexing his abs? Then you'd really be like, oh yeah, you would start to feel that, right? Or that girl, imagine you just, tone, showed a leg sticking out of the slice of the dress. You'd be like, yeah, that's right, boys. That helps that emotion, so it sets that tone more, right? So that's why anytime you can add a visual, do it. Do it. Okay? And then we get them over to the free school. Why are they coming over there? Well, imagine you had a place that you could go to and hang out with me for free each day live, and we could learn about this together. How much faster do you think you would get there? Imagine having somebody that's already been there helping you each day to try to figure it out until you were ready for even more help. Because if you think this is good, imagine what it's like when you sign up for the paid stuff. See how that works? And then you just show them. And you connect with them in there. And you rile people up. How do you get engagement in your community? Are you asking these questions? Or what are you actually saying in there? Think about it. And then when they get in your paid school, guess what you have to do? You just got to get in there and help them. You already know how to get there. Right? It's really not that difficult, is it? What are you going to do? You're going to create some videos in there, right? You're going to get on some coaching calls, right? It's simple. Imagine you only had to work 4 or 5 hours a day. This is real stuff, right? This is literally my schedule. Remember I said have a schedule? You should have a piece of pie like this, the clock. It's the only thing you have to work with, by the way. So you don't have to get too more. This is all you got is these damn numbers around this little wheel. We've only got so many more left today, and then the wheel, you'll fall asleep, hopefully, right? You'll have to. I mean, it'll shut down eventually. And then it starts over again. This is a very simple thing. And then if you stay focused and you just really just every day, what could I say? What could I do to help somebody see the vision of this actually working? How can I help them not feel alone in this journey? Are you guys getting this? Is this making sense? It's not that hard, is it, when you think about it? It's actually a lot of fun, isn't it? You're like, all right, Mike, all right, you're about done to shut the, I gotta, okay, I'm ready to go do this. Now, the thing that makes this content work really good is if you have some sort of like dot connector with it, right? Like when you envision the thing, show the thing, but then immediately afterwards, be like, and all it takes is a few simple things. See, watch. You plug this in here and the light turns on. That's it. Let them worry about the details. They don't care. They'll do whatever. All right. But you got to be there with them. Imagine how much better it is to have somebody that's already been there to help you. Imagine what that'd be like. Imagine if you had something already made for you. You just kind of had to fill in the dots. Wouldn't that be great? That's how you think about the little process. That's what gets them excited. So this is it's a very simple little schedule here. You don't have to do it all in these orders. You can do it however you want. But when you know where you're going, it's really easy to get there, isn't it? Okay. And all we're doing is we've got these simple things. We've got our little calendar. We've got our classroom. We've got our community. We can make a paid one of these or a free one of these. They both do the same thing. One just goes crazier than the other one. It's kind of like you can go to the club, or you can go back to the VIP room. Now, the VIP room, yeah, it's a couple $100 to get in back there. It's not that much different. You just get a little bit nicer furniture, you get a little bit closer service. The people are a little bit different to you back there. They pour into you a little bit different. I mean, right? And this is okay. Like, you could buy like the standard model, or you could buy the like little bit nicer model, and it just got leather seats instead of cloth. It's got, it's got a little bit nicer wheels on it. It's just nicer, right? I don't know, you get there a little bit better. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand how simple this machine can be? How else can I make it more difficult for you? Because all it is this. What do we put in the free one? Well, what did I put in my free one? Where are you right now? This isn't hard, is it? Jody says, great stuff, Mike. Got to jump off. Thanks for sharing. How do we sign up? And all I did was talk about all the plane seats and how smelly and stinky and all the hard work today, wasn't it? Are you catching my drift? And you know what's nice about this is it's a hell of a lot easier to talk about that stuff. The stuff that we got to do is not hard. How do you edit a video? How do you do it? Nobody gives a rat's ass. Can you imagine the ab machine thing going like, now, you want to buy one of these? Here, watch. Here's how you hold on to the handle. All right. You got to grip it real hard. Make sure you got your water bottle with you and a towel, because you're going to sweat your ass off. Okay. That is not going to sell that damn thing. What did you learn today, Kareen? What's your biggest takeaway today?
I need to start doing instead of thinking. Since Monday, I'm trying to analyze everything. I just need to get the hell out of there and start talking.
Yeah. Like, are you going to, it's cool. You can create like little short videos. You can create longer ones and you can just cast the vision. Because listen, if I can't see it, there ain't no way I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's the fear. I think it's the fear. We already talk about it. I just need to pass
And it
that.
doesn't have to be complicated, does it? Like you're trying to teach confidence. Imagine you're walking down the hall and somebody smarts off to you or says some negative stuff and you're like, oh man, really? Imagine what would that be like?
It happens,
Let,
yeah.
let me know down in the comments. That's the end of the video. Oh, guess what? Engagement City. And guess what? They're going to be like, yeah, but who is this chick? They go to your profile, they see the link. They're like, we've got a 5-step blueprint that helps you be more confident. We will boost your confidence 100%. You know how you help somebody measure confidence since it's not like selling money? You measure it by when they first get in, one of the questions you would ask them in your free or paid community is on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being unbelievably, untouchably confident, and 1 being, I just want to cry in a dark room with a blanket over my head. Where do you think you are? That's a question you ask right out of the gate. Because later you can say, remember that question I asked you when you joined the community? What do you think? Where do you think you are now? We can go back and look at your membership questions. It says you were at a 2. Where are you at now? Oh, I'm at a 4 or 5. Whoa. Yeah, that's 200 times better than 2. You're really getting somewhere. Now I can measure my confidence. I am getting something from Kareen. This is great. And I feel better. That's how you measure feelings. You got to get on a scale from 1 to 10. Don't forget that. Write that down. That's a big one. If you're going to teach anything like, confidence or, anything that can't be measured with direct numbers, you measure it with on a scale from 1 to 10. Where do you think you are? And then you got to really exemplify what 1 is and what 10 is and let them hit that number. And then you got to ask them again. That's the trick because you have to have them remember that again. It's rhetorical question, right? Like, it's so silly. I'll say, people are like, well, no shit, Mike. I'll be like, wouldn't it be nice to just have a lot of money? No shit. But it makes you think about it again. It's a rhetorical question. I know the answer. You know the answer. Everybody knows the answer. But when you think about it again, you're like, oh, yeah, I don't have that either. Remember the question that you're asking them to imagine. It also simultaneously lets them remember like where they are. And that's the trick of it. That's the magic of it. Kind of cool, huh?
You're right. You're right. You're right about asking the right question.
Questions are the answer.
really
It's the
like
number
that.
one thing.
It's the number one because as a coach, I like to ask questions, not to give them everything.
You
Make them
can't.
think, and then they realize they have the answer by themselves without me even. I just was asking the questions.
You can't
I think
tell
that's what
anybody
defines
anything.
you as a great one to listen and follow because of that, because how you ask the questions. I really appreciate you for that. I can't thank you enough. Since Monday, my mind is blowing. I took a break from kind of social media just to analyze it because you made me realize like I was now wasting I didn't use my time right to figure out stuff. And you came in 1 hour and you did a lot of I have like a salad in my head mixing with so many dressing, but you give me the direction that I need and you kind of make that salad really tasty and delicious in 1 hour. And this is the 3rd time this week that I'm like you said, this is free time. I can't imagine what is the paid.
And you know what's interesting is I didn't actually do anything other than really just ask you questions.
But you care. You care.
Well, you have
care.
that is the number one thing is that you have to care. People can tell if you don't care.
Yeah.
You can't pretend to care for very long. That will separate you faster than anything else on the planet. It's not that hard to get ahead of most people because most people are in their head.
Yeah.
All you have to do is help them see the vision of it. Without vision, people, if I can't see where I'm going, I can't get there. If I don't see the path, I can't walk it. It's not about, if I can't envision it, I can't do it. Everything else shows up. You'll do whatever it takes. I'm excited for you. I really am. Like when I think about it, I'm like, wow, she's going to go out there. She's going to keep it simple and she's going to ask questions. She's going to share the vision and why it can actually work. And then she's going to ask people if they want more help or if they want to be a part of a community that's trying to be better.
I appreciate you so much.
Well, I
I
appreciate you
know
too.
you. I know you for 2 days, but I feel like I know you forever.
Isn't it cool?
I
It's
really
the
appreciate
care
it.
thing.
Yeah. Like I said, in I think Monday was when you are in a room with 600 people and the host cannot really pay attention to 600 people, but you are. It makes me realize like I can trust you. I can share with you. You can guide me. You can give me the directions that I need to get me to where I want to be without judging me, without giving me so much BS. Straight. I'm watching your videos online and you're straightforward. And I think that's why I really, really appreciate you. I'm so happy I found you. And
I mean,
I can't thank you enough. Like,
it's so like there's nothing that means more to me than hearing this because the ripple and the impact now is going to be like what you're going to do and how you're going to help people. Think about how that it can happen within your own thing. Like imagine you help one more girl become more confident and then she helps one more. I mean, think what that does. It really like creates these enriching strands of strength like all throughout. And that's what brings things up. That's what really increases things.
yeah,
I'm excited for you.
thank you so much.
Well, and I appreciate all the kindness and all the words. And it's just the beginning. This is
Yeah.
the first one of the machine workshops.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get into more stuff, but the thing that we're talking about tomorrow is actually like creating the offer. I believe that's tomorrow. So, that'll be exciting. I'll see you for that one. But that one is going to be at,
1 p.m.
yeah, that's at 1. Cause I have the Make Ones Pro that we do, every Monday and Thursday, we have like a 2-hour call where we get in there and do stuff. Like you can share your screen. You can, we can work on like the nitty gritty stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that day or like a Q&A day. So yeah. So what are you going to do today that you didn't do yesterday?
Going live on Instagram
Mm.
because I need to pass this fear of going live. I don't care. You gave me the strength to do that. I don't care my English if I'm gonna mess up. Going live, tell and share why I do what I do, who I do it for, and everything that we talk about, the what, the who, and the why. And that's it.
And
To
just
get it
remember,
out of my chest because I need to do it.
yeah, and just remember, people that are above you are going to reach down to give you a hand up, but people are below you are trying to pull you down. Like it's true because they're trying to get up. They're not pulling you down because they're after you. They're just grabbing onto anything above them and they're trying to pull onto it. And what that feels like is they're trying to be significant by grabbing a hold of something that's already significant. And that just feels like a negative comment or something. But somebody above you is going to try to pull you up. Can you imagine Tony Robbins going on to somebody's live and talking trash? Or I mean, it's just so if somebody is talking trash, just try to give them a hand up, or just shake them off your pant leg and ask them, ask them a question. It's the answer. I'm telling you. And
Smart.
more than anything, we have to be able to see where we're going before we can do anything else. And so it's so important. The rest it doesn't matter. We'll do it. We got to paint that picture. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're
I have a
amazing.
question for you, but not off recording if it's okay.
What's that?
I need to ask you a question,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Let me
not in the
press.
recording.
Yeah, let me press pause. I'm gonna go peace, but stay here. Peace.